Hi there, everybody. In the details today, you've probably been watching the coverage of the devastation in Southern California, the fires, and many of you asking me on social media, how does this happen? Well, this is a weather pattern that Southern California, unfortunately, is very familiar with. And they've got to set this up first with what's been happening over the last several months, or the lack of what's been happening, and that's been rainfall. There hasn't been any. Southern California under severe drought conditions as it's been dry, and that is not unusual going into the winter months. The rainy season usually starts towards the middle or second half of the winter. Here's what happens. This is most common actually in December and January. A large area of high pressure, cold high pressure, sets up over the Great Basin, the interior deserts of the Southwest. Those winds then start to move down towards the coast, and it's the shape of the coast and the topography along it that really determine what these winds do. It turns out that the Great Basin, where these winds begin, is higher in elevation than those coastal communities such as Los Angeles. The winds have to descend down the mountains to get to the Pacific. That causes them to speed up. That speed up process also causes the temperature of the air to rise and the relative humidity to drop. So you get hot, dry air blowing down into the lower valleys into a location that's already unusually dry. That path heading down the mountains usually causes the winds to increase to 30 to 40 miles an hour. But as the wind gets squeezed between mountain peaks, it can sometimes gust to over 100 miles per hour. The wind knocks down trees, which knock down power lines. And that is often the most popular way that these fires get started in the mountains. Unfortunately, they can also be human caused. People burning things outside or some even starting the fires on purpose. The investigation will continue to what determined and what actually caused some of these fires to form. Because the wind is blowing down towards the Pacific, that's the way the fire travels as well. Down the hillsides towards the city, and unfortunately this time it was over some very populated areas. At their peak over the last several days, the coverage of the fire reaching 29,000 square acres. That's 45 square miles. Take a look at what that would look like in the Bay Area. If we had 45 square miles of Tampa burn, it would go from Ybor City and downtown to Carrollwood, back towards the airport in Lido, all the way east towards Temple Terrace. The amount of destruction here has been incredible, and it will take years for Southern California to recover.